man whose thoughtful ballads like Running on Empty and Dr. May Eyes defined an entire era of 1970s West Coast rock. But behind that peaceful image was a man embroiled in rivalries, grudges, and bitter fallouts with some of the biggest names in music. At 76, the mask slips. Jackson Browne's carefully hidden conflicts tell a darker story about ego, betrayal, and artistic battles. Today we reveal the 6 musicians he reportedly hated the most. 1. Neil Young. The philosophical Clash Jackson Browne and Neil Young were often lumped together as politically aware singer-songwriters. But beneath the surface, there was a fundamental split. Browne believed in discipline, in writing songs with clarity and responsibility. Neil Young, on the other hand, embraced chaos, unpredictability, and raw ego disguised as principle. Their feud reportedly exploded backstage at an anti-nuclear benefit concert in 1979, where Browne allegedly confronted Young, saying, "You just can't show up and try to undermine everything we're doing with your random opinions." For Bone, Neil represented the dangerous side of the rock star myth, irresponsibility masked as authenticity. Activists said Browne even told them, "Neil thinks being unpredictable makes him authentic, but really, it makes him irresponsible." This rivalry was never about personal dislike alone. It was about what music should mean. Neil Young wanted rebellion at all costs. Jackson Browne wanted conscience, and the clash would never heal. 2. James Taylor, authenticity versus commercial success. If Neil Young symbolized chaos, James Taylor symbolized something Browne despised even more: commercialized vulnerability. Both men rose in the early 70s as sensitive singer-songwriters. But while Taylor turned his confessional pain into mainstream success, Browne saw it as calculated, pain packaged into a brand. Witnesses claimed Browne called Taylor's act emotional tourism, covering other people's songs without bringing any real personal investment. During the 1974 industry awards season, Taylor's massive commercial success eclipsed Browne's politically conscious work. Insiders remember Browne bitterly remarking that Taylor's audience wanted the illusion of depth without truly thinking deeply. To Jackson, James Taylor wasn't just a rival. He was a symbol of how the industry rewarded comfort over truth. 3. Linda Ronstadt, the personal betrayal. Perhaps the most painful rivalry of all was with Linda Ronstadt. In the mid-1970s, Browne and Ronstadt were close, romantically linked, creatively intertwined, and part of the same Laurel Canyon scene. But when Ronstadt transformed herself from introspective artist into a Vegas-style entertainer, Browne saw it as the ultimate betrayal. Friends claim Browne once told a confidant, "She's turned everything we shared into a Vegas act. She's forgotten the music, the movement, everything." Their relationship ended badly, mixing romance with professional competition. Ronstadt's mainstream success came to represent, for Browne, a sellout of the California singer-songwriter ideals they had once both championed. This feud was not just professional. It cut deep, and for Jackson Browne, it never fully healed. 4. Glenn Frey, the Eagles connection. Glenn Frey of the Eagles started as a friend. In fact, Browne even helped Frey write early Eagles hits, including Take It Easy, but friendship quickly soured into rivalry. By the mid-1970s, Frey's Eagles were the kings of commercial rock, selling out stadiums while Browne remained the more serious artist. At a 1979 business meeting, things reportedly exploded. Browne accused Frey of turning shared artistic ideals into pure capitalism, while Frey allegedly snapped back, "I'd rather be rich than be you." Industry witnesses even recall Browne storming out in disgust when Frey suggested he should adopt a more commercial approach. The man who once collaborated with Jackson became his most bitter adversary, a friend-turned-traitor, embodying everything Browne felt had corrupted California rock. 5. Warren Zevon, self-destruction versus discipline. If Glenn Frey was the sellout, Warren Zevon was the reckless genius Browne couldn't forgive. Browne once championed Zevon, even producing his early records. But what began as mentorship turned into exasperation. Browne, known for his discipline, was infuriated by Zevon's self-destructive lifestyle, the drinking, the dark humor, the chaos that wasted incredible talent. Friends said Browne believed Zevon had turned rock and roll into a celebration of self-destruction. He's throwing it all away, his talent, his life, and the industry treats it like entertainment. Their fallout reached its peak in the late 70s when Browne tried to stage an intervention only for Zevon to mock the effort. To Jackson, Zevon embodied the dark myth of rock and roll, brilliant but burning out. 6. Don Henley, the corporate machine. Finally, we come to Don Henley, the voice of the Eagles, and in Browne's eyes, the cold embodiment of corporate California rock. By the mid-70s, Browne and Henley were at the height of their powers, recording in the same studios, attending the same parties, shaping the same West Coast sound. But Henley's path was different. Where Browne sought authenticity, Henley crafted songs carefully designed for maximum radio play. Witnesses recalled tense studio sessions where Browne accused Henley of forgetting why they started making music in the first place. At a Laurel Canyon party, Browne reportedly vented, "He's taken everything genuine about California music and packaged it into a corporate product." For Browne, Don Henley wasn't just a rival. He was proof that even the ideals of the singer-songwriter movement could be bought and sold.
Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon.